My fellow Knicks fans, how high of a ceiling do you feel that Kristaps Porzingis has? Now, being a Knicks fan, I'm going to try to remain as objective as possible and be as impartial when looking at him as a player. But when you see a guy who has come into the New York market, who hasn't been afraid, obviously, and has brought livelihood and excitement back to the Knicks, it's just really hard to remain objective, but I'm going to try my best. Now, being 7'3", 240 pounds, as listed, and just turning 20 years old, he hasn't even necessarily done growing yet, and that's pretty insane that he could just naturally get a little bit taller as he matures and he gets older. His natural strength and muscle maturity is going to develop, and that's pretty exciting because of just how nimble and how fast he is for a guy who's 7'3". He has a jump shot. He has a few times shown the dream shake, and one of his greatest tools is his offensive rebounding and his ability to attack. I mean, so many times you see him put these second chance putback dunks that energize a team, and it's because that the guy normally who's coming behind these tall, big centers normally isn't taller than them and doesn't have a longer reach than them, and his ability to just be nimble, quick, and attack with speed is something that very, very, very few power forwards can do, and he can play obviously the power forward or center position, maybe even the small forward because of his size and his speed and his agility for someone that's that big. He has developed, or has going into the league, a three-point shot, shooting 35% from three, which isn't bad, but obviously he's a rookie, and his free throw shooting, that's a very respectable 85%, will improve, hopefully. Hopefully his jump shot, his outside game matures, but he has a very unique ability to go from the inside out or from the outside in, depending on who's guarding him, and that kind of versatility goes a long way. He is widely compared to Dirk Nowitzki because of his size, the perimeter shooting. People expect him to mature, and one of the things he does better than Dirk has never done in his career right now is his defense. He's averaging a shade under 2 blocks a game. It's 1.9. Dirk, in his best season, has averaged 1.5 blocks per game, so he already makes a stronger impact around the rim. I mean, so many times because of his size, he's been able to get a handful of dunks in 5 to 6 seconds because he doesn't have to jump to block shots or contest shots. He can use his size, and he's not afraid to get dunked on. You've seen it a few times this year. He brings energy, he brings speed, he brings liveliness, he brings a type of hybrid play that is kind of required in the NBA now to be a contender. I mean, the Golden State Warriors obviously have one in Draymond Green, who I kind of see as a revolutionary type of player like Porzingis that allows them to do something very specific. The Warriors' small lineup where they play Green at the center position, which they used to win a championship last year, is something that makes him incredibly versatile, just like Porzingis, who's a 7'3", 240-pounder that can play, outside of the paint at the three-point line, which allows you to take guys out of the paint and allows you to exploit the team from an offensive standpoint, similar to a Kevin Love, except Porzingis already has better defensive skills than Kevin Love has ever had. That kind of versatility, the kind of excitement he brings, the fact that he hasn't shrunk away in the New York market so far, it's really hard to say who he could be. I mean, if he matures and is able to build into the type of ceiling that you see from him in the fact that he does so many little things very well at this early stage in his career, his ceiling could be on one of the top 10 players in the league simply because his versatility will be his greatest attribute, and that's something that championship contenders have, is a versatile player that allows them to do something very specific that contours to one of their two best players. So I'm very excited. I think he has an extremely high ceiling, and as a Knicks fan, it's just a great time to watch him really prove all the doubters wrong when he was drafted and be a promising young player in the league. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. This is Abel with All Things Sports, and I'll see you guys later.